Welcome. I do not own the rights to this music. You are here with the Guru's Rant. Welcome to my show, week 1 season of the NFL. Again, I do not own the rights to this music. So let's get into it. Welcome. You are here, the 2022 season, 2022 season with the Guru from the East Bay. That's right. That's me right here. I'm going to bring it to you live. I'm going to give you fresh content every week. You'll get it nowhere better than right here. First, we want to start out with last week when the game of the week of the season was supposedly the Super Bowl premiere for this coming season. And that was the LA Rams versus the Buffalo Bills. Now, that game was pretty exciting, but it was pretty much a blowout. I've been saying all along, Matthew Stafford, he's a guy that's going to he's going to wow you, and then he's going to be like, oh, what did I do? That's exactly what happened in this game. You know, Josh Allen, he was 26 of 31 for 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions. The thing with Buffalo is they're going to have to work on their running game. Now, I know it was 31-10, but Josh Allen was their leading rusher. He was 10 carries for 56 yards. The other running backs didn't have over 48 yards. Von Miller, 2 sacks. You got to love that. And the defense, they were pretty good. They had 3 interceptions on Matthew Stafford. So that was key for Buffalo. Looks like they have a good front four. Linebackers play pretty good. They were just running on all cylinders. Von Miller looks healthy. Clock looked like it might have been turned back a little bit for him. It should be an exciting season. Now, I know it's only the first game of the season, but my gosh, Matthew Stafford, you know, he's getting out the gate. He was 29 of 41, 240 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Now, the running game, again, like the Bills, was kind of abysmal in a sense. Josh Allen picked it up for the Buffalo Bills. But however, Darrell Henderson, 13 carries for 47 yards. That's just not going to cut it on Sundays. It won't do it. Cooper Kupp, he was targeted 15 times, but he had 13 receptions for 128 yards, 1 touchdown. And, you know, those 15 targets might be part of the problem of the interceptions that Matthew Stafford has. I understand who Cooper Kupp is. I think we all do. You know, the league offensive MVP, deservedly so. Just a phenomenal player. But you can't scheme your offense around one player. He's going to get his, but you have to spread that ball out. You become a little bit too predictable when when people know that you're going to go to this one person, and that was the thing. Allen Robinson. You know, people, I know, again, it's only game 1, but the addition of him, 1 catch, 12 yards, you know, expected a little more out of him. But again, they have to get in rhythm. You know, the Rams do. And, you know, we won't read too much into it, but this is a problem with Matthew Stafford. We already know that. You know, Jakarski Tart, I believe his name was, for the 49ers. If he intercepts that ball in the playoffs, the Rams are out of it. And this is the problem that teams are going to present to the Rams, because Matthew Stafford, he becomes predictable after a while. Like last year was his first season with the Rams, and that was understandable. You know, there was a lot of power plays going on. You had Aaron Donald. You have Jalen Ramsey on the defensive end, you know, Cooper Kupp. They just seemed Whitworth, who just retired. They had some power places, so you couldn't just focus on Matthew Stafford. Odell Beckham added to the team. Now teams have a full year of tape of Matthew Stafford in this offense. They know his tendencies, and that could be a concern for the Rams coming up. So stay tuned. I'm not sure if the Rams are going to exactly be that team. Aaron Donald played very good. The thing was, he wasn't much of a factor because Josh Allen got the ball out of his hands. Again, 26 for 31 for Josh Allen. He was scorching hot. You know, to complete 26 to 31 passes, You are doing things. You have the defense figured out. Um, Troy Hill and Terrell Lewis for the Rams. They're cornerbacks. Kudos to you fellas. Both of you had interceptions. I tell you who didn't, Jalen Ramsey. You know, you're only as good as your last game. And Stephon Diggs, he came at you. Josh Allen was not afraid to come at you. I know you're a pro's pro, and hopefully you'll bounce back. But let's stop the chitter chatter, all right, and just play football right now because you're behind the eight ball. But Troy Hill and Terrell Lewis, good job, fellas. Way to, try to stick in there and battle for your team. Josh Allen hit 7 different receivers. I think that had a lot to do with keeping the Rams defense off balance, something that Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay might want to practice moving forward in week 2. So that was Thursday's night game. What a banger to open the season. Now we will go to the NFL picks of the week. All right. These are the Gurus' picks of the week. And I will continue to have these picks every week. As you follow me, you can see the win-loss column. And, feel free to follow these picks because they can be pretty hot at times. I plan to be that way this year. So we're going to start off with the Eagles versus the Lions. That game should be a doozy, of course. The Lions, we know they're in the rebuilding stage. The Eagles are sort of in one. You have 2 quarterbacks, one who was the number 1 overall pick, not just but 5-6 years ago, and Jared Goff, going against second-round pick Jalen Hurts, who people seem to be on pretty hard, even though he's a second-round pick. I mean, let's let the man get another full season under his belt. This game, look, the Eagles are loaded, and I like what Jalen Hurts does on the football field. He wins at every level. He won at Alabama. He won at Oklahoma. He can throw the football. You can use your legs. Defensive players are faster. I give the Eagles the edge. The Eagles are the pick for this game. 49ers versus the Bears. You have 2 quarterbacks from the same draft class of last year about to go head-to-head. This is going to be another good battle because these are 2 franchises. One, the Bears, who are trying to get their reputation back up, and then you have the 49ers, who are trying to maintain their standard of excellence. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to select the Bears. I think that they have the better quarterback. It's the quarterback I felt they should have went number 1 in the draft. And that's okay that he didn't, but I expect big things from him this coming week because he's under a new scheme, and I believe they're going to put in things that make him really comfortable at what he does best. Also, defensively, watch out. They have a really good young defensive line. I can't remember the young man's name. Defensive player, I think his last name is Johnson. Don't quote me. But just look for a really busy defensive front. Raekwon Smith at linebacker, phenomenal. Look for the Bears to have a bounce back year. I'm going to go with Bears on this pick right here. The other game, the Bengals versus the Steelers. I'm not going to go against Joe Burrow. Steelers, we don't know exactly what they have. We know they have a good defense. Offensively, we're not really sure what they're working with. They're kind of like have some changing pieces. But more importantly, at the quarterback position, you draft a guy, Kenny Pickett, 8th overall, and he can't even crack your lineup. I thought he was a stretch to be picked that high to begin with. I felt that he was maybe a 2nd round, 3rd round pick at best. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and give, Joe Burrow. Come on. The Bengals are it. They have a 3-year window right here as far as their Super Bowl playoff window, if they get a new coach in the future. But they have a good window right here. I expect them to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, the Dolphins versus the Patriots. new regime in Miami, and you have Bill Belichick. This is a division rival game where basically the Patriots have owned the Dolphins over the last 20 years. We'll say the Tom Brady era. But there's a new sheriff in town in Miami. And there's a new spirit, a new feeling. Miami feels like they're back. They have the players on defense, Xavier Howard in the gang. Uh, Offensively, they look explosive. They got Raheem Mostert on a pickup, who I think is really just going to be a phenomenal back for them. Tyreek Hill, need I say more with him? Now, my concern would be Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. I'll get it right eventually. The quarterback out of Alabama. Left-handed quarterbacks, you have to be really good in this league to be a left-handed quarterback. Steve Young, Boomer Esiason, Michael Vick. I have concerns about his delivery, the timing of his delivery, because most of the league is used to dealing with a right-handed quarterback. Most quarterbacks in the league are right-handed. This is going to be interesting to see how he's able to get the ball to Tyreek Hill. The ball's going to have a different spin on it, number one, because it's coming left-handed, and the routes will have to be a little bit different. Expect a lot of flushing of Tua to his right-hand side this season. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pats. I'm going to go ahead and take the Miami Dolphins over the Patriots. Let's move down to the Browns versus the Panthers. Look, I don't care if Jacoby Brissett is starting for the Browns. Baker Mayfield is not a starting quarterback in this league. He's a relief guy at best. And everyone tried to make him, a quarterback that he isn't, the number one overall pick. I mean, my God, the year after that, Arizona Cardinals take Kyler Murray. They played on the same team at Oklahoma. He's already on his new contract. I mean, what do we need to know here about Baker? All right. The Browns on this one. The Browns. My goodness. Okay. The Texans at the Colts. I like what the Colts have. I mean, they have a really good team. Matt Ryan is their new signal caller. I feel that, they should be good this year based on all the talent around him. The Texans, I feel, with Lovie Smith, they're going to have something. I like their quarterback. I can't remember his name. He was drafted out of Stanford. He reminds me a little bit of Neil Lomax. Those of you who might not remember him from the early 80s out of Portland State, played for the Arizona Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals. He was a really good quarterback for about 8 years. Injuries derailed him. But the Texans, the Davis Mills, or his Mills is his name. I don't know if it's Davis. Might be. But I'm going to take the Texans over the Colts. The Saints and the Falcons, another rebuild. We got two former very high draft pick quarterbacks trying to reestablish themselves as franchise quarterbacks in this league. One in Jameis Winston, the other in Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota is 2-0 versus Jameson. Take that for what it's worth. I take the Saints over the Falcons. Ravens versus the Jets. I'm going to take the Ravens. Joe Flacco is supposed to be starting for the Jets. I don't care if the starting quarterback for the Jets, whatever the young man's name is, look like he belonged on Disney. I don't care if he starts. I just think the Ravens are a better team, even with their backup quarterback. Stay tuned with the Lamar Jackson situation. Kind of nervous about all that, but that's a different subject for a different day. I'll get with you on that. The Washington Commanders, my hometown team, versus the Jaguars. It would be fitting that they open the season against a team that was pretty inept last year as well. Listen, Carson Wentz, if you can bring some joy to my hometown friends and family, that would be great. You get to open against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, you're another high draft pick who was said to be a generational talent. We're going to find out in year two. We're going to find out right away. Okay. All right. You're facing the same quarterback, different team, but let's see if the last game of the season was a prelude to anything that's going to be special moving forward this year. All right. Uh, I'm going to go with the Commanders on this for the hometown. The Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Kirk Cousins. I mean, everyone is waiting for you to, you know, be what everyone is saying that you are. And I know that you can throw the football, and I know that you're a gamer and you have moxie, but you have not accomplished anything at the high level as far as winning playoff games or being in the playoffs on a consistent basis. I tell you where you have been high in category, and that's the paid position. You have been consistently highly paid over the last 5 years. That you are very high in that category. So if you can get a win and justify me picking you Vikings, which I am, over the Green Bay Packers, please do. And you can start in week one by defeating Green Bay. Vikings on this pick. All right, we have the Tennessee Titans versus the New York Giants. I don't know what the Giants are. I know they have talent. Uh, Kadarius Toney, man, he flashed something special. If I see what I believe and this guy really has, the Giants have something special. They could be dangerous. Quarterback, I have no idea what they have in Daniels, other than the fact that he can fly when he leaves the pocket and pull away from cornerbacks. So I don't know what they have, but I'm going with the Titans on this. Raiders versus the Chargers. Man, there's a new regime in Las Vegas. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, reunited in the prime of their careers, basically. Let's see if something special happens. Let's see if Josh McDaniels can, if he's anything special. We know what he did the first time around when he was a coach. Maybe that had a lot to do with his temperament and ego. Maybe he's grown since then. I would assume that he has. But I'm going to take the Raiders on this. I don't know what the Chargers are except young and good. They're just so confusing because you have Derwin James, you have your quarterback, you have your receivers, you have your tight end, you have your defensive front, but you're not in the playoffs. And that's a problem. And y'all need to figure that out. So I don't know what you are until you start really making some noise. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say the Raiders over the Chargers. Okay. KC over Arizona. Patrick Mahomes, week one. I'm taking him. People think that because he doesn't have Tyreek Hill, that somehow that they're a little bit weaker. I'd venture to say that they're more dangerous, if anything, because they spread the ball around more. They still have Travis Kelce. The running game will always be effective as long as you have a good quarterback like him back there. Patrick Mahomes, that is. Arizona, Kyler Murray. Hey, you got your money. This is your year. Stay healthy. Kyler Murray reminds me of Joe Theismann. I saw Joe Theismann in his prime, and that's who Kyler Murray reminds me of. He's got a missile for an arm. He may be short, but he can see throwing lanes really good. And he's proven that he can take a team somewhere. He's the most accomplished football player in Texas football history. No one's done what he's done. So I expect big things coming from him moving into his prime years that are way in front of him still. His coach, Cliff Kingsbury, is going to have to be a little bit more innovative. Let's get a little bit more creative and not so predictable so my man doesn't get so banged up. But the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this game over Arizona. All right, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus my Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's get right into it, shall we? Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. Do we need, you know, I can't really say much, right? It's Tom Brady. And he's pretty much owned the league over the last 20 years. However, he's playing my Cowboys in the prime of their careers, basically. Dak, Zeke. We need to see what we're made of. I feel like we have the better team. Dak is really hitting this prime of his career. I feel like he's going to have more leeway in the offense. They're going to let him use his legs more. He's going to have to. That's what he did his first season when he won Rookie of the Year, deservedly so. Um, yes, this is the year for the Cowboys. If they're going to make any noise, they have to make it now. They have to get out the gate and win this first game. Edge Dallas Cowboy, just because the receiving core of Tampa Bay is a little banged up. Edge Dallas over Tampa Bay. And Monday night's game, Denver and Seattle. Listen, I like Geno Smith. I think he's a good quarterback. Um, he can throw the ball. He went 8-8, and he went 8-8 as a rookie with the New York Jets. Think about that. He went Geno Smith, a second round pick, went 8-8 as a rookie against one big games against like guys like Matt Ryan that was like early before his prime. Geno Smith was beating him. He got a reputation and kind of got buried. I don't want to sleep on Seattle. I really don't. And I know what Denver's trying to do. I know what they're trying to do. But you know what? I think Geno Smith saying, hey, I'm a veteran too. I'm a veteran too. And, I can play this game and I'm going to show people that, look, don't forget about me. This is my shot. Seattle over Denver. And those are the Guru's picks. So right on down the line, you have the Eagles over the Lions. You have the Bears over the 49ers. You have the Bengals over the Steelers. You have the Dolphins over the Patriots. You have the Browns over the Panthers. You have the Texans over the Colts. You have the Saints over the Falcons. You have the Ravens over the Jets. The Commanders over the Jaguars. The Vikings over the Packers. The Titans over the Giants. The Raiders over the Chargers. The Chiefs over the Cardinals. And the Dallas Cowboys over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And last but not least, the Seattle Seahawks surprises everyone and beats the Denver Broncos. And those are Guru's Week 1 picks. I want to thank all those who join my show or watch on the rewatch. I appreciate any support that I get. I enjoy sports. I love talking about them. And I hope to get better at it and be more interactive and have a bigger audience. I want everyone to participate on Guru's Rant. So thank you for watching. And again, stay tuned for week 2, and I'll give you my analysis probably like Wednesday or Thursday during the week of the games, maybe sooner. I'll put out a message. I'll figure that out. But you'll be getting content every week, hot and heavy, from Guru himself. You'll be getting your week's picks and commentary on all the action. Thank you for watching, and let's go. Week 1.